So another thing that happened in Atlanta this week is the National Park Service bought the house that Martin Luther King was born in, and I think everyone's been there, right? Everyone has been there, for $1.9 million. So basically,
it's pretty cheap if you think about it. His house for only 1.9.
Yeah, when you do think about it.
Come on,
because
like,
I feel like it should be worth a little more.
Yeah,
like just because of he has his own holiday, like
right.
But I don't know what else. What they? I mean,
He's
I can't
from
really
this
compare
city.
it. I don't know who else house been sold to compare it to. Like,
but you know
I
where
probably-
it's at. Like, what are the other houses in that area going for? That's the.
Well, I think that from what my understanding, I think that whole area is like a historic.
It's
site.
a national. It's a part of the
Yeah,
National
so-
Park Service.
Yeah.
Right. So, but his family has owned it, so they've given the deed to the National Park Service. People were mad, saying that everybody's coming in and buying Atlanta
How you
and
feel about
taking
that,
away. I mean, for me, I always thought it was a part of the National Park Service, so
Got you.
it didn't like bother me because I thought because they really are responsible for the upkeep of it. They actually are the ones that do the tours.
Yeah.
I know that his museum and the church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, is right in that area. So I just thought it was all because when you go to like a tour or something, you just go, you walk through there, and I just thought that whole area was a part of the National Park Service. But if you've ever been to Atlanta, you know where it is. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like a regular neighborhood, and then all of a sudden, it's like
a block.
the feds.
It's literally like a block of.
It's a block of this. It's just this area, and it's weird because it's like the National Park Service is riding around. You
Right.
see those people with those hats. You know what I mean? And then
right,
there's like
right.
the regular cops, and then there's like the Georgia State Patrol, and then you got the National Park Service because that whole area is fed. And if you know the hood, like that area, you know that there's some little sketchy areas. And you fuck around and be doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, and cross the street and you doing what you ain't supposed to be doing on a federal thing, and you just cross the street from a felony from a misdemeanor to a felony. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got like be careful around here. I don't know if y'all know that, but peep the scene.
I did think the one good thing I did see is that they said that the national parks, of course, they got the budget to keep
To keep it up.
Yeah,
And so
so-
his family, I mean, I would imagine a normal family wouldn't be able to upkeep, keep putting the money out.
And then, national. That's what they do.
Right.
That's they take.
That's what
care
they've
of
been
these.
doing anyway, though,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that house.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, in general, like they're like specialists in these tourist attractions in a sense.
There you go. Yeah.
So I can see them being the best. I still want the family to have some ownership in it though.
Something.
Just because that's his family, I want them
Yeah.
to be able to speak for him, representing him.
I
right
think
way.
that his family, just like a lot of our families, have a lot of disputes about, like finances and property and the legacy and all that. You know what I mean? So it's hard to maintain a legacy when everyone has their own agenda. So I think that if you just, let it become what it is, just a national memorial place where, I don't know, it's just so hard because we try to hold on to stuff as black people. You know what I mean? Like our own legacy, our own stories. He's our hero. So you kind of want it to belong to...
That's
but you
my
also
point.
want it to be a part of American history too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know.
It's kind of dicey somewhat because if we just look back at the history of the family, seeing how the children have fought over selling Bible, papers, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
that
So
kind of bothers me.
I don't know what everyone's true motives are. I don't know if they're trying to sell this stuff to gain profit from it and just say, hey, 1.9 mil, you got it. I'll sell it. Because just seeing like Auburn Avenue, how that's been gentrified on a whole nother level. And we always talk about Black Wall Street, but that was one of the most affluent areas.
That was a nice neighborhood. That was a nice house.
It was the nicest. And Alonzo Herndon, who was one of the first black barbers in the city, one of the first black millionaires in the South.
Atlanta is a gem. Atlanta is a gem
There
in
we
black
go.
history. And, just like they built the stadium right here.
Mm-hmm.
And, when the Falcons, I saw something that was a joke, but I was like, that's kind of like not funny. They said, whenever the Falcons lose, y'all start praying, but they knocked down the church.
And they got cursed. And Georgia hasn't
They
won
knocked
in there.
down the church.
Georgia
Yeah.
lost 2 championships in there.
Like,
Falcons, all that stuff.
And I heard, they just renamed and kind of re-renovated the Hawks Arena.
Right.
And
State Farm.
State Farm.
They say it really feel like Atlanta in there. I mean, it got a
Barbershop, yeah.
It got, they say the food prices is cheap.
Really?
Yeah, because
the
at
prices,
Mercedes
you get a
it's
hot
like
dog
that too.
$2. Yeah.
Mercedes is the same way, right?
Really?
Yeah, I remember
Yep.
going there.
I need to go to some Hawks games.
And they was just like, man, it's a party. The DJ, they like it feel like
Word?
Atlanta in there, like it feel real black. And I felt that when I went to the game, to the Falcons game though.
That's
like
what's up.
it was rocking. The DJ had it rocking. Like
Yeah.
It was a good time. Like, it was definitely a good time.
Yeah. I respect it too. It's just that my only fear is that we're like giving away Black history so much. Because when it comes to like Auburn Avenue, how that's changed to like Georgia State campus. Because you remember, I think where you part, Jay Black, when we did Word on the Street, all that was Auburn Avenue. But now you see like the Honors College building, conference centers.
I mean, once you get past like the M bar and all that, and
it's changing. That's changing. Edgewood is being gentrified now because that's being tattoo shops, the bars, all the white spots.
The thing about
I think Edgewood,
though,
we kind of still got.
I'm about to say,
Edgewood
we
on
got
a lot of new businesses are open. A lot of new bars, Black owned.
Killer Mike down there.
That's
Maya
a
Bailey
staple.
is right.
I ain't sure.
Sure.
K Michelle down there. Yo, people's then they.
Yeah, my cousin, my homegirl, her cousin has a bar that's opening up down there.
Yeah,
and then across the
that's
street
good.
from there, I saw them building something right there.
Is Heroes Black on?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Harold's Chicken?
Yeah.
So like, keep Atlanta Black. Shout out to everyone that promotes that. Shout out to T.I. for doing that. Shout out to Killer Mike for doing that. Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to Kim being on VH1 for that.
Word. Shout out to all that. Just a little bit of history on that. The King House, it was purchased in 1895 for a white family, and then purchased for $3,500 in 1909 by Martin Luther King Jr.'s maternal grandfather, the Reverend Adam Daniel Williams, who was the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church.
And it says it was on 501 Auburn Avenue too, right?
Yeah.
See? Auburn Avenue again.
But too, from my understanding, from what I remember, and I could be wrong, but I think that was like it wasn't like his house. It was like in a group home.
Are you
like
serious?
that house was a group home, and
Okay.
So I can understand why his people didn't own it, but
That's pretty interesting.
I think that was a group home. He just had a room in there. And
That's what I was. Yeah.
Okay.
The home has been the National Park Service has been giving tours there since 1982. So it's like they've been taking care of it
already.
You know what I mean?
I'm just afraid for it though. That's my only thing because I just see Atlanta changing so much. Like at the Beltline, I remember I went there.
You always say that when you guys went bike riding.
It is crazy. Like I was the only Black person there, and then if you go a block down the street, you were in the middle of the hood. But then if you go to the Beltline, bro, they had white people. Like they had their own bars. Like everything, and we were like the only Black people there.
That's what happened in New Orleans. I went to City Park like a month ago, and actually when I was there for my birthday, and there was we were the only Black people at the park. That kind of just was like, I mean, it's a beautiful park. You know what I mean? I think people should take advantage of it. It's not like you can't go there. It's not like segregated or anything. But it just bothered me that
you just don't feel comfortable, do you?
It used to be more Black people that hung out there, right? Nate's from New Orleans. Aw, he gets sad when you talk about New Orleans.
Hey, it's
I get it.
everywhere.
I get it.
It's happening everywhere.
I mean, I don't know. I think that more people in the case of New Orleans, to be honest with you, I always felt like more people should have moved back. And that's none of my business because y'all rigged up. I ain't gonna lie. Salute to everybody that got those FEMA checks because they don't give them out like that no more. They sure don't. And a lot of people took advantage of the house buyout programs and all that and kind of just went about their business and moved on their way. But more people saw more opportunity there and took advantage of it.
Yeah.
I wish more Black people would have done that. I just will always feel like that.
When you look at like Black cities and look at like the Martin Luther King situation with the house, and we don't want them to take Black history, know. But the question is, who's stepping up?
There you go.
In the Black community, so many of us run from the responsibility. Like every time I go home, I hear everybody talk about gentrification, but I'm like, you could also buy the house to stop it. Like you could also buy it to stop it. You don't have to like watch them buy it and then change it and then get mad that 10 years from now that it's not the city you remember, but you also ain't doing nothing to stop this either.
That's true.
Like gentrification can be stopped.
Yeah.
But how many Black people in our communities are trying to stop it? They just want to complain about it.
Yeah.
But that means they got to get responsibility. Now they're accountable for their actions. Now they can't nickel and dime and hustle off the government. They got to get real jobs. They got to
you have to have
somebody.
credit. You have to have like accountability.
That's fair.
And but this is
That's fair.
every episode it boils down to that,
Oh,
and
they
we
self-accountable.
always, no matter what we discuss, it always
like,
comes
yeah, I
back
told
to this
y'all.
one subject: having your foundation, having your family, having your paperwork right, starting
it.
at home. This is the same. We keep running into the same. Like that's the
So
solution.
look, that's the thing. I think we talked about it last week too. I forgot what we was talking about, but basically getting to the root of the problem.
Oh, we was talking about the students and the teachers.
Yeah, the
How
prison
kids
to
always-
school.
School to prison pipeline.
School to prison
Yeah.
pipeline. Make sure y'all go check that out. Connecting the dots.
Check out our previous episode, YouTube,
But nah,
SoundCloud.
it's like, man, we can't solve our problems if we don't know the root of the problems. If we just going off of, are we mad because Trayvon Martin got killed? What's the root to that? You know, what's the root of why we're marching? Like, what do we want out of
So
it?
There you go.
You know, and I'm gonna say this really quickly because we got to move on. But I always think, and we say this all the time. You hear this all the time. It's so cliche, but no one is gonna respect you more than you will. You teach people how to treat you. So when the way we talk to each other is so comfortable, when we be like, yeah, nigga, yeah, bitch, like. It's funny, it's cool, like we deal with it, but it's like at the same time, you see other people that will not have it. Like you will shut some shit down in a minute if you hear anything degrading about your people. And then when we say that we demand all this respect, the whole thing is we're not gonna get treated better than we treat each other, and more respectful than we respect ourselves and each other. So we just gotta kind of like be careful. And when we get into the whole media thing, we're gonna dig deeper into that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be another subject. We saving that to the end because I got a feeling that it's gonna be. I got a
gonna be a
drink
long
and everything. I'm gonna save the rest of my drink till that.
Yeah.
So